This is Nightline.
Tonight, finally free. Tearful, joyful reunions in Israel and Gaza. The emotional images. Brothers reunited, a mother's embrace. After 738 days, the 20 remaining hostages home in Israel. And the historic exchange. Israel releasing nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners to war-ravaged Gaza. The ceasefire, a defining moment for President Trump. But will peace hold? Plus, Mark Sanchez speaks out. New video showing the NFL quarterback turned sportscaster after being released from the hospital.
I'm focused on my recovery and I want to see my wife.
What he says about that alleged drunken criminal altercation. And remembering Diane Keaton, the Oscar-winning actress known for her quirky, cool off-screen and in classics like Annie Hall.
Oh, well. La-di-da, la-di-da, la-la, yeah.
And the First Wives Club. Tonight, tributes pouring in from the many she inspired, like Reese Witherspoon.
Diane was really important. She was one of my first mentors.
And what she once told me about that famous Godfather role.
You thought it was a waste of time. Totally.
Tonight, Diane Keaton in her own words, and why she says she never got married. And Swift series.
The only thing left
1, 2, 3.
is to close the book.
The superstar's surprise announcement.
From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline.
Thanks for joining us. Tonight, a history-making moment in the Middle East. Tearful reunions and jubilant celebrations. Hamas releasing the final 20 surviving hostages after more than 2 years in captivity. Israel releasing nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners in exchange. It was the U.S.-brokered ceasefire, with President Trump rightfully taking credit. In Israel, speaking to Parliament, and in Egypt, with leaders from around the globe as they push for a lasting peace in the region. ABC News Chief International Correspondent James Longman joins us now from Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt.
Hi, Juju. It was an extraordinary day today to see Donald Trump convening this huge group of Arab and Muslim leaders and leaders of some of the most powerful countries on earth to decide what the next steps will be in this journey towards peace. Now, there's a ceasefire in place, but quite what the future of the Middle East looks like, that is in the hands of these men. Who will force Hamas to disarm? How will that happen? What will be the mechanism? Who will govern Gaza? Who will rebuild it? Who will secure it? Who will be part of this international stabilization force which Donald Trump calls for in his 20-point plan? And most importantly, perhaps, are there going to be conversations about the ongoing occupation and the possibility of a future Palestinian state? A start today of a very long journey. Juju.
James, thank you. While world leaders focus on a lasting peace, many civilians on both sides of the conflict overjoyed today with the jubilation they've been dreaming of. But with hopes also comes apprehension. The Middle East has been on the precipice of long-term peace before, only to have it slip away. We turn to ABC News and Nightline contributor John Donvan, who lived in the region and has spent 4 decades covering it.
The scenes all day today from Israel and Gaza and Egypt, all flash frames that tell the story of a new day being born. Maybe. Certainly on the streets of Israel, the joy that started once the living hostages were confirmed returning home. That joy, that is new, and it continues. In Gaza, the river of Palestinians returning to a city of rubble. But at the very least, there is exhausted relief that the bombs have finally stopped falling. A silent sky over Gaza. That is also new. Then there is President Trump in Jerusalem, literally announcing a new day.
This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
And then once in Egypt, his photo ops with all those world leaders and their congratulations. It spoke of a rare unity and a new sense of promise. But what is the promise? Well, it's the rest of the plan, which includes Hamas giving up its weapons, which they still held in their hands today. It also includes billions of dollars pouring in to rebuild Gaza. But look at how massive a project that is going to be. And it includes the implicit goal of a someday Palestinian state, despite more mutual hatred and distrust than ever before after what Hamas did on October 7th. After 2 years of death and destruction endured by the Palestinians. In a way, we have been here before. A new day was promised well within living memory and with just as much fanfare when a different U.S. president brought together an Israeli and a Palestinian to make peace.
Enough of blood and tears. Enough!
They too signed on to a plan to cease hostilities and build lasting peace, and it was hailed as a breakthrough. And had it worked, today a Palestinian state might be celebrating its 26th birthday. But distrust, extremism, and broken promises killed that effort, which of course led to all of this. Even now, with so many world leaders standing behind the ceasefire.
This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving, hoping, and praying for.
The distrust is still there, which leaves only hope as signatures hit paper again now. That the promises will stand. And that this time will be different. Maybe it will. Maybe.
Our thanks to John. We will, of course, continue to watch for the latest developments, but we turn now to Mark Sanchez, the NFL quarterback turned sportscaster, now speaking out for the first time since he was arrested in Indianapolis for allegedly assaulting a 69-year-old truck driver. Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky.
Newly released video showing former NFL quarterback turned analyst Mark Sanchez leaving jail over the weekend after he was released from the hospital. Sanchez breaking his silence for the first time after being booked on felony battery and other charges.
I'm focused on my recovery, and I want to see my wife. I want to see my son, my 2 baby girls. There'll be a day to answer all these questions, and unfortunately today's not that day.
Sanchez was in Indianapolis to call last Sunday's Colts-Raiders game, but ended up stabbed, hospitalized, and arrested after a violent altercation in a hotel loading dock. This video obtained by TMZ shows Sanchez in the moments just before. You can see the truck pulling into the alley to collect used cooking oil from the hotel. Then Sanchez appears in the same alley where prosecutors say he attacked the driver, 69-year-old Perry Toll, who told police he thought to himself, "This guy's trying to kill me."
The allegation here is that Mr. Sanchez pursued this individual around the vehicle, and it's Mr. Sanchez who really was quite persistent.
Sanchez was pepper sprayed and stabbed. This video shows him clutching his wounds. Toll's attorneys say in a civil lawsuit the driver suffered severe permanent disfigurement, loss of function, other physical injuries, emotional distress, and other damages.
My client's a 5'8", 165-year-old senior citizen, 69 years old. Mark Sanchez is a former professional athlete, 6'2", 235. He's just thankful to be alive and is recovering at home with his wife.
Court records say Toll claims Sanchez smelled of alcohol and his speech was slurred. The results of toxicology tests are pending.
Our thanks to Aaron. Up next, remembering the quirky charisma of the late, great Diane Keaton, known for her comedy favorites like Something's Gotta Give. Welcome back. Hollywood has lost an icon. Diane Keaton, famous for her style, her wit, and her self-deprecating sense of humor, on full display when I had the privilege of interviewing her a few years ago.
Oh, well. La-di-da, la-di-da.
Diane Keaton la-di-da'd her way into our hearts and stayed there for more than 5 decades. From popular rom-coms like Something's Gotta Give,
We're just goofy when it comes to love.
To her 2.6 million fans on Instagram following her signature quirky style.
She had an iconic look. You can see in your mind as you think of Diane Keaton, you can see that hat, you can see the glasses, you can see the lipstick. She was a feminist icon. She was strong and independent and did things her way and lived life the way she wanted.
An icon for the ages, but she never seemed quite comfortable with all the adoration.
Every generation responds to you in some way. How does that feel as you're walking down the street?
It makes me feel like you're crazy.
Her impeccable comic timing commanding the screen in a string of comedies, showing off those chops in Father of the Bride.
You're absolutely wrong.
And redefining what it means to have it all in Baby Boom.
Take care of it. It's very agreeable.
Her impact on cinema endures.
You really saw what Diane Keaton loved to do and what we loved to watch her do. Be funny, be spontaneous, be relatable, be just that thing that Diane Keaton was on screen. We couldn't get enough of it.
Keaton's shocking death over the weekend at the age of 79 still reverberating throughout Hollywood and beyond. A source telling People magazine her health had declined very suddenly and taken a sharp turn in recent months.
She was one of my first mentors.
Reese Witherspoon at a Hello Sunshine event, emotionally recalling her audition for Keaton's film Wildflower when she was 15.
Came in with this big country accent, and I was playing this little Southern girl, and she goes, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Reese Witherspoon, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee." And she said, "Are you making that up? That accent you're doing?" And I said, "No, ma'am, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm here, and I'd love to be in your movie." And she was like, "Well, you're hired. You're hired today, tomorrow, and the next day. I don't know who you are, but I am so excited to have you." She is just incredible and indelible and just a truly original person.
Tributes pouring in across social media from longtime friends and co-stars like Bette Midler, Jane Fonda, and Viola Davis. Goldie Hawn writing, "You stole the hearts of the world and shared your genius with millions, making films that made us laugh and cry in ways only you could." The two, along with Bette Midler, were box office gold in 1996's First Wives Club.
I don't tell you what to say. I don't tell you what to do. So just let me be myself. That's all I ask of you.
There's always the knock in Hollywood that women of a certain age weren't bankable. If you put them in a movie, people wouldn't go see it. They would be box office poison. That proved not to be true when Bette Midler and Goldie Hawn and Diane Keaton all were together in First Wives Club. And so that was a big deal. That was striking a major blow. People loved that movie.
Hi, Diane.
Deemed Hollywood royalty by Hollywood royalty, Meryl Streep honoring her with the American Film Institute's Lifetime Achievement Award in 2017.
Diane Keaton, arguably the most covered up person in the history of clothes, is also a transparent woman. There's nobody who stands more exposed, more undefended, and just willing to show herself inside and out than Diane. Can't imagine the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s without you. Love you, Diane. So does everybody.
Growing up in Southern California in the 50s, the oldest of 4 children, an idyllic suburban upbringing.
What were the happiest moments of your childhood?
Oh, we had a lot of happy times. We went to the beach. We were always at the beach. We were always camping at the beach. And that was a very great time in our life.
I chatted with Keaton in 2020 about her deeply personal memoir, Brother and Sister, an exploration of addiction and mental health surrounding her beloved brother Randy.
You say that Randy was the single male relationship that was the most intimate in your life.
Yeah, that's for sure.
What did you mean by that?
He still is. Because look, I'm a person who's never married. And I think that Randy had the most significance, and it's being played out now more than ever.
She also reflected on her career and the role that almost didn't happen in The Godfather.
Do you know how naive you sound?
Why?
Senators and presidents don't have men killed.
You talk in the book about auditioning for The Godfather. You thought it was a waste of time.
Totally.
I was not the kind of actress to play a fine upper-class woman.
Yes.
What were they thinking? I didn't even want the role.
I still believe that. I still believe I don't understand what they were thinking.
Keaton would go on to appear in 3 Godfather films alongside Al Pacino, her on and off again real-life love interest, amidst one of the biggest franchises in Hollywood history.
She certainly did have relationships with Warren Beatty, Woody Allen, and Al Pacino. And yet, famously, she never married. And I think that was part of her being an independent human being. I mean, the great thing about Diane Keaton was, as much as she worked with all these great actors, she was never defined by anyone else.
Keaton's choice not to marry, something she had no problem setting the record straight about on The Ellen Show.
But you don't want to get married.
Oh, I'd like to get married, yeah. You got that wrong.
I didn't know that you wanted to get married. I thought...
Oh, very bad. And what happened was nobody ever asked me.
Oh. Well, somebody will now.
No, I don't think so. Not after this show.
She created a nuclear family on her own, in her 50s adopting 2 children, Dexter and Duke. Keaton once described what she hoped to pass on to her children, beginning with the daughter she adopted first.
I really, really, really think that it would be great to have a huge, huge, huge appetite for life. I mean, I really wish that for her. I hope that she embraces it enormously, every aspect of it. Headstrong. I hope that she's brave, and I hope that she's curious and excited and interested, because that'll pull her through.
In her later years, her place in pop culture immortalized in a spirited Christmas ornament. But she never strayed too far from her first love, acting in films well into her 70s, like the Book Club series.
There's a man out there who makes me feel things that I didn't think were still possible.
And roles like a dying mother in The Family Stone seem extra poignant tonight.
I need you to do me a favor and try not to be so perfect, all right?
Not long ago, our Will Reeve asked what she would say to her younger self. But true to form, she turned the focus instead on someone else.
I wouldn't go back to the 30-year-old, here's how you do anything. For me, I'm sorry, but I just go back to my mother, to Dorothy Hall, to the greatest woman, to the person who gave me all these opportunities and who said, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. And so that's what I did.
Always leaning into gratitude. She will be missed. When we come back, not content to shatter virtually every album release record of modern times, Taylor Swift announcing not 1, but 2 streaming events, sure to thrill Swifties everywhere. And finally tonight, Taylor Swift, the end of an era. Disney Plus, owned by our parent company, dropping a trailer teasing the superstar's 2 brand new projects.
People like to talk about phenomenons.
The End of an Era is a 6-part docuseries, taking us behind the scenes, sweating it out, even under the stage, on her record-shattering world tour.
Welcome to the Eras Tour!
As well as candid clips of special guests, including Sabrina Carpenter, Ed Sheeran, and of course, the soon-to-be Mr. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. Also coming soon, the Eras Tour, the final show, the tour's joyous, emotional finale.
We have broken every single record you can break with this tour.
It'll all start streaming in December. Swifties running for their calendars. That's Nightline. See you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.